This one singular event in my life has changed the course of everything. I got fired by a world famous celebrity, and honestly, it's one of the best things that has ever happened to me and my business. Now, I'm not gonna go into excruciating details with this video because it's gonna bore you guys, but here's the gist of it. Because of some really crazy circumstances in my life, I was introduced to a world famous athlete. If you follow the strongman world or you watch World's Strongest Man, you would know who I worked for. He is the top pedigree of these competitors. And long story short, I got a gig doing photo and video / social media work for him. Now, I worked with them for about 3 months. We did a bunch of different shoots, we did videos, we did an event, I did designs, I did a lot of stuff for them, but it didn't work out. Maybe I sucked, maybe I didn't care enough, maybe it was a million different things. Now, this is the very first time I've ever gotten fired in my life. I've had tons of jobs, but I have quit them all. So getting fired at 30 years old from like my dream job is pretty funny. We had just moved back to Colorado and this happened. Because of that, we lost $3,500 a month of income, which we were depending on, which really sucked, but leading into the next point, it was literally the best thing ever. Because this happened, it put Cheyenne and I in a really desperate situation. We had to put our heads down. We had to hustle. We had to figure it out. While I was working for him, I wasn't taking eBay so serious, but I was still working on it and still growing my inventory. Now, I'm not a religious person, but I definitely believe in some sort of higher power, and I think something was protecting us in some sort of weird way. The month we got fired was one of the best months we have ever had on eBay in the 4 years that we've been doing this. So I don't know what that is. It might be faith, it might be just like me putting my head down and busting my butt to get it done. Whatever you want to call it, eBay took care of us. eBay saved our butts, and that's the reason we were able to pay rent, put food on our table, and give Oliver some diapers. Before I move on, that is the beauty of having multiple income streams. If we only had this guy's income, we would have been screwed. I don't know what we'd have done, but thankfully I'd built this system for years and years and years that was reliable and I could depend on. But this is the lesson. This is what I learned about myself, about my business, and about my future endeavors. I don't want to be employed by someone. I am way more concerned about my business, about my hustles, about my endeavors, about all these things that I got going on, that I don't want to worry about someone else's business and their future success. Because even if I helped this guy, I helped him grow his channel, I helped whatever happened, at the end of the day, it's all of his stuff. Sure, he may pay me a few bucks more if things go great, but at the end of the day, that is still his stuff. He could fire me at any second, and I have nothing to show for it at the end of the day, maybe besides like a cool portfolio. This one singular event in my life has changed the course of everything. We are now just heads down, focused on our own entities. The only thing we worry about now is starting multiple companies of our own, developing our own social media accounts, and working together as a husband and wife team rather than me going out and spending hours a day with some stranger. That was another thing I learned. I don't want to be away from home. I don't want to depend on someone else's schedule. I had to work around this guy's life, around his schedule, when he ate, when he worked out. I lost control of my freedom and I hated it. I hate being gone for hours at a time, not seeing my son. Guys, if something bad happens to you, don't let it get you down. Don't quit, don't give up. Don't just like bury your head in the sand and say that things don't work. Just because I got fired from a top tier person doesn't mean that I think I'm useless, doesn't mean that I don't think I have value to share to the world. I'm just gonna do different things now and focus on myself and focus on self-development like everyone should be doing. And hey, if you want to develop multiple income streams so you don't face this same situation that I did, make sure to watch this video here. It'll help you start a side hustle. Till next time, cheers.